Hey YouTube, Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Overdress School Idol Lyrical Melody deck profile for Posts, the Lyrical Melody Booster Pack. This is the trial deck that was released for the Lyrical Monasterio clan for Cardfight Vanguard. I actually said clan, but I meant nation, obviously, all of them living on the whale. And this is the deck you can build with the majority of the cards being available in the Ahoy Lyrical Monasterio trial deck, added in with some of the cards we got from the Lyrical Melody booster pack. There wasn't really a lot we had to add from the actual booster pack, aside from the Overtrigger and some additional backup cards. The good majority of this deck can be found in the trial deck, so I would say it's one of the easier decks to build as well. Also the final deck that you can build from all of the different cards from the Lyrical Melody booster set. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the ride deck, our starter being the Esthesis Mion. I really hope I pronounced that correctly, because there's a good number of cards with it in the deck. When this unit is rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. So the standard starter skill, with our next one being Nanami. With this one, when this unit is placed on Vanguard, you may choose a grade 1 or less card from your drop zone and call it to rear's rest. So it's set up as your go-to ride target. And when it's placed on rear, it gets plus 2,000. I would say it's definitely the go-to Vanguard skill, having the better of the two. With our grade 2 being Kiora. When this unit attacks, choose one of your rear guards and you may return to your hand. And during the battle this unit boosted, it gets plus 5,000 power. It doesn't have to hit, it just has to attack. And you can call something back to your hand. So useful to protect them against your opponent, and then just call them out again next turn. With our grade 3 being the main unit, which is Esthesis Kyrie, your go-to grade 3, not just for the Persona Ride skills, but just the overall good skill of when this unit attacks. You Soul Blast 1, choose up to 2 of your rear guards and return them to your hand. So it clears out your front row, so you can then call it out with its additional skill, which is why we are also running 3 of this card, being not just for the Persona Rides, but also on Vanguard at the end of the battle this unit attacked. If you Persona Road this turn, choose up to 2 cards from your hand and call them to rear in different rows. So with it, you have the option of just calling them to the front row if you clear out your front row of any of your cards, thanks to this card's Soul Blast, but then the multiple attacks that you can carry out also. And if you were to get something like your Overtrigger, just additional power, and also the Persona Ride providing the plus 10. So if you used a boost on any of your other rear guards, you at least have powered up cards to still go up against your opponents. For the backup grade 3s, I am also running 4 of the Capriccio of Circulating Star Ingrid. It is a ghost, but still very, very useful for the playstyle of the deck. When this unit is placed on rear, other than from hand, you counterblast 1, and then you choose one of your rear guards in the same column as this and stand it. So that also provides an additional boost in power. And when this unit attacks, it gets plus 5,000 until end of that battle. And at the end of that battle, put this unit on the bottom of your deck. So that can clear up your rear guards for Kyrie to not even have to use her Soul Blast when she attacks. The rear guards will already be open up for you to at least have utilized your Persona Ride that turn. So remember that. And it's why this card's also a 4 of, so you always have those available rear guards to gain the additional power, but also have the power to restand something in the same column as this. And it doesn't have to be a ghost, it just has to be another unit. And also for the grade 3s, following in the Ghost Trend 3 Selfie Practice Annalise. At the end of the battle, this unit attack while boosted, put into your soul, choose one of your rear guards and gets plus 5,000 to end of turn. So that can provide soul power for you to return cards using your Kyrie. So with it, you have another way to clear up your rear guard circle to call additional cards with Kyrie, but also a way to build up soul and have those multiple attacks. That's it for the grade 3s. Moving on now to the grade 2s. I'm running 4 of the Brilliance and Elegance Aerith. When this unit attacks while boosted, if your Vanguard is Esthesis Kyrie, counterblast 1, choose up to 1 card from your hand and call it to an open rear guard. This is multiple attacks that we spoke of as well. When it's boosted and you have the specific Vanguard, which you will have when you hit the grade 3 status, being able to choose 1 card from your hand and call it to rear is just that open power that you can then add and bounce back to your hand with Kyrie, and also the more than multiple attacks with that card, being able to have an open rear guard for the multiple cards to call out. Even if you did Persona Road, you'll still want to clear out the front row thanks to Kyrie's Soul Blast, and then you can just use this card to have that additional rear guard, have it be filled out with 1 additional card you call out, let's say after your drive check and you reveal a normal unit to add to your hand. And also for the other grade 2, I thought of running the other ghost unit that provides, but it does take up some of your soul blast. So instead, I'm running 2 of these slight slump appel. When this unit is placed on rear, counter +1, and this unit gets plus 10,000 until end of turn. You don't really use counter blasts for much else in the deck, so being able to use them for appel as the potential card to get called by Kyrie means you can also have this card gain the additional plus 10 from the Persona Ride and itself, making it a 28,000 attack unit with itself and no boosts provided. Still pretty good. Even if your opponent gets a trigger, it's still 5k higher than what a normal 13k body will be against your opponent. And now that is it for the grade 2s. Moving on to the grade 1s. I am running 4 of the Munching Girl Sia. When this unit is placed on rear, Soul Blast 1, look at the top card of your deck, call it to an open rear, or put it into your hand. If you put a card into your hand, choose a card from your hand, discard it. So it can't just give you an additional plus. You do have to discard for that cost. If you call the top card of your deck, it's just an additional card giving you a boosted rear guard. So most of the time I would definitely go with that, unless obviously it's a Sentinel or something you would much prefer to guard with for that card. But still, this card does provide more soul, so it's more of another reason why I'm not running the grade 2 ghost as the option for appel, because this card will definitely run through your soul quite quickly in the deck for you to use. One of our other grade 1s we run in the deck are 3 of the Join Grasp Ernesta. When from the back row, when your other ghost is placed on rear during your battle phase, you stand this unit. So you have the ghosts in play, which they can be called out with your Kyrie when they're called out during the battle phase. You can at least restand the booster. Knowing what you're going to call out ahead of time will provide a great addition for these cards, because then you'll know when to place this card in the back row to provide the boost initially and then restand it after you have called something else. And then for the additional grade 1s, I'm also running 2 of the Fulfill Suites and Gelma. From the back row, once per turn on rear guard, when your other unit is placed on rear during your battle phase, you can Soul Blast 2 and draw a card. It does take up a good number of your Soul Blast, but it is an option just to get some more hand consistency back into your hand for you to use against your opponent. That's why I'm only running 2. It is situational, but just another potential card in the back row along with your Ernesta to use in the deck. And then lastly, for the grade 1 spot, we were just running 4 of the Diva of Refreshing Calm, Christine, being the mermaid. I think is the majority of what these units are in this deck. So I would say it's one of the most fitting cards for the Sentinel spot. And once again, having the generic Sentinel skill of when you guard with it, if it's the only other card in your hand, you have 2 Sentinels, let's say, you don't have to pay the discard cost for it, giving you another Sentinel to use to guard against your opponent. And then for the trigger count, we are running 7 critical just for the additional pressure our Vanguard can provide. So 4 of the Aesthesis Misa and 3 of the original style Eshuka. They all wear the same uniforms. I'm guessing they all go to the same school, maybe just different cliques that they're all a part of. But still, keeping in trend with the mermaid lineup for our go-to one from the trial deck, along with the ghost one from the trial deck. But Knowledge of Power Saskia still does fit with the ghost we are also running in the deck. And 4 of the Economy. This is the heal trigger from the trial deck as well. So once again, fitting. I don't know if we'll ever get ones that don't have the text on it. We might have to wait till the next festival collection. And lastly, 1 of the Overtrigger Mysterious Twins, Romea and Rumia, for the mermaid theme that this deck also goes by. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. We're finally done with all of the decks from the Lyrical Monasterio Nation for the latest addition to the Cardfight Vanguard Overdress format. I hope you all enjoyed all of the different deck updates. Once we get more support, I'll definitely look into updating these. But until then, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.